Yo, what's up homies, and welcome back. First of all, let me actually introduce you guys the gameplay in the background. It's possibly one of the best gameplays that I've had so far in Black Ops 3. It's actually a 74 and 6, something like that, on Redwood in a 6v6 domination. In case you guys didn't know, I have yet to see, massive scoring gameplays and a 6v6 domination on all the other maps. I think that the only 6v6 good gameplays that I've seen on YouTube were on either Stronghold or Combine. All the other ones were like, but I don't know, I really enjoyed this one. That's why it is in the background. But that is totally irrelevant to the video itself, okay? Today I'm actually gonna tell you guys the best game modes in order to go ahead and get the Specialist Ultimate gear, whatever it may be, or the Hero Loadout as fast as humanly possible. The reason why this video is kind of took me so long to actually go ahead and make is because I actually wanted to be, 110% sure that what I'm telling you guys is by far the fastest way. I went ahead and played all the different game modes available, even tried Safeguard, which you'll know I'm not a big fan of Safeguard, but to some extent it comes handy to this particular challenge or to this particular objective, okay? Up until you unlock the Earth Loadout, which by the way you unlock by killing 800 enemies with your gun. I believe it doesn't actually count your score sticks and all that kind of good jazz, otherwise I would have actually unlocked it way early. Up until that point, there is really not that much that I can tell you. Just go ahead and slay as much as humanly possible. Go play a lot of like hardpoint or really long-lasting game modes in which you can actually go ahead and slay as much as humanly possible. Get as many kills as you can. I cannot stress this enough. There is literally nothing that you can do in the meantime. Once that challenge is actually completed, once you actually unlock the Earth Loadout and the actual challenges actually start to pop up, I don't know, like go ahead and get 2 kills with the spikes as a ruin and all that kind of good jazz. That is where stuff gets a little bit more specific. In fact, this is when the challenges for the Specialist weapon and the Specialist ability will actually unlock. Now, let me actually give you the example of the Outrider. Okay, the Outrider, in order to unlock the Amazonas body, you need to kill 20 enemies with the Sparrow. In order to unlock the Abin, or A-B-I-N, body, you need to kill 40 enemies with the Sparrow, and then it goes on and goes on and goes on. This works also for all the other specialists, okay? The amount of enemies that you will have to kill with your Specialist ability, or while your Specialist ability is gonna be up, and the amount of enemies that you need to kill with your Specialist weapon is gonna be the same, the exact same number for each and every single specialist. Now, there are a couple of game modes that I highly suggest if you actually need to go ahead and, do this process and complete this process and get your hero loadout as fast as humanly possible. Let's actually start by talking about the Specialist weapon. This is usually something that everyone, or at least most of the people that I've seen running around with their Specialist, actually prefers to use, just because the Specialist abilities, there is a little bit of more skill involved to actually go ahead and fully utilize the crazy amount of stuff that you can actually go ahead and do with BO3. In terms of the Specialist weapons, if you have anything that explodes, I don't know, if you're running around with the noob tube of battery, if you're running around with the Sparrow of the Outrider, if you're running around with Ruin with the drumsticks, then the game mode that you should go ahead, and personally you should go ahead and use and try to max out your Specialist with, is Hardpoint. Simply because, as you can see yourself in the screen, I was actually using Ruin with the drumsticks, and each and every single time the enemy team has a hardpoint, I can simply enter and smash the living crap out of them. That is the quote-unquote fastest way that I've actually figured out in order to get myself some Ruin and unlock all the Specialist loadout for the Ruin body. Of course, that differs a little bit from Specialist to Specialist, but let me give you just the example that I just gave you, okay? For Ruin, Hardpoint, you go ahead and you go use the drumsticks. For Arrow, Hardpoint, you go ahead and you shoot as many arrows as humanly possible. You just spam them inside there, and hopefully 90% of the times you will actually pick up at least 1 kill, if not a double kill, which is actually what is required in the final challenge. What about Battery? Well, the same goes for Battery. Once you see that the enemy team has the hardpoint, you just go ahead and spam your Specialist weapon. You get the vibe. It's always the same thing. Now, this is the thing. If your Specialist weapon has nothing to do with anything that is explosive, let me actually give you the example of the Reaper with the Scythe. The Scythe is not an explosive, quote-unquote, Specialist. In that case, my best suggestion is to actually go ahead and do the same that you would actually go ahead and do for the Specialist ability that I'm actually going to be telling you right now. In terms of the Specialist ability, the fastest way that I found to actually go ahead and unlock all the different Specialist loadout obtained through the completion of the requirements with the Specialist abilities is actually to go ahead and play free-for-all. I've noticed this too far into my, Specialist unlock and all that kind of good jazz, but I'm definitely going to be using for literally every other Specialist just because of how handy it actually turned out to be. I was playing around, I was trying to max out Ruin, and Ruin's ability, in case you guys didn't know, is it's called Overdrive, and you run a lot faster. And one of the last challenges is to actually go ahead and get a double kill, aka 2 kills really fast. That will actually appear as a double feed in the kill feed while the overdrive is actually activated. Now, there is no special perk or whatever it may be, just like an advanced warfare, that will make you last your special ability, your specialist weapon a little bit more. So it actually is extremely critical for you to go ahead and find as many enemies as humanly possible while your specialist ability is actually unused. That's why I decided to go and play some free-for-all, because damn, bro, I don't know if it's actually meant to be this way, but seriously, man, spawns and free-for-all are crazy. And 90% of the time that I actually use overdrive, I find myself 2 enemies in front of me just ready for me to go ahead and slay them out. Seriously, I cannot stress this enough. This is by far the best strategy that I've found so far. And yeah, boys, that's it. Hope you all had a beautiful day. Live gameplay coming up either tonight or tomorrow. And yeah, peeps, bye bye.